In this lab, we will configure VRRP with IPv6. Router 1 simulates the internet with this loopback that has this IP address. CSR 1001 has the IP address that ends with 101. The CSR 1002 has the IP address that ends with 102. The action item number 1 is use VRRP in this IPv6 network with this network prefix. CSR 1001 should be the master. Use Slack at PC1. Validate PC1 can access the loopback. So let's configure CSR1. I was cleaning up after a previous lab, sorry. The first command is first hop redundancy protocol version VRRP version 3. Next, interface G1. This one, G1 goes to the LAN. So let's configure there. VRRP group 1 address family IPv6. Then you will have to configure the IP address, the virtual IP address. You must enter for VRRP link local IP address. So the address should be a link local address. You can make it up. For instance, if E808, for instance, primary, my priority will be 110, and the preemption exists by default, so that's it. Show VRRP. Tells me that this is the master. This is the virtual IP address, which is a link local. If you have secondary IP addresses in your interface, you can use the regular, normal, and global unicast IP address. But for the primary IP address in the group, you must use link local IPv6 address. So let's configure the other one. Oh, sorry. First hop redundancy protocol version. I have VRRP only, version 3, interface G1, VRRP group 1, address family IPv6, address, we're going to use the same address, primary, the priority will be default, so it's everything working now. So show VRRP. This is the backup. So now let's add a new PC. Let's delete this one. Usually the PCs for IPv6 labs, usually they stop working for some reason. So I'm gonna add a new one. Start it and console it. So let's ask for the IPv6 information using Slack. Show IPv6. I got this address auto configured. First 64 bits come from the router advertisements. These come from a local computation using the MAC address. So let's ping the physical address that belongs to CSR 1001. We can reach it. Let's see if we can reach the second. Okay, let's see if we can ping an IP address that lives beyond the default gateway, which is the loopback. That works. Now let's see what is the path that we're using to reach this. Okay, we're using this router. That is correct. Action item number 2, simulate a scenario with CSR 1002 takes over the role of the master. Validate the PC2 can access that loopback. So we're going to shut down this one, or I'm going to disconnect this, delete. So now this router should take over the role of master. So it went from backup to master. So now it's the master. So let's do the same test here at PC1. And let's trace. Okay, now I'm going through router number 2. So review the IPv6 packets. Let's check here. Start capture. Okay, there is a neighbor solicitation for some reason. I'm going to, there is no router advertisements by default with VRRP in CISCO. So now let's try to force a router advertisement to be sent. IP auto router solicitation. And for some reason, I didn't receive a router advertisement. That is wrong. Come on, IP auto. Another router solicitation. I'm gonna add another. PC. Let's connect it. Let's try with a different device that has a different MAC address. IP auto. Oh, no router answer. This is oh, I think that from a previous lab, I configured this. IPv6, I disabled router notification for some reason, so I'm going to enable. Sorry about that. So there you go. Let me see what. Okay, here's the router advertisements. I have it disabled for router 2 for another lab, sorry. Now it is enabled. So you can disable router advertisements if you want to have several routers in the same LAN, but you just want to use that router for other reasons, not becoming the default gateway. So that is why I shut it down. So now it's working. Let's try it again. IP auto. Here is the solicitation and here is the advertisement coming from this address FE80:A, and this provides the prefix, and that's it.